Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prosperity Through Multifamily Real Estate Investing podcast. I'm your host, Cody Laughlin, and joining me tonight is my man, Mr. Brian Alfaro. Brian, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Cody? I'm super excited for today's podcast. I think we got an all-star in the house today talking about something that you don't really hear a lot in multifamily, and I think is really important, and that's going to be search engine optimization.
Yeah, man. Yeah, such an important topic, especially as you're growing your brand and your presence in the digital world today. And we always joke around, right? If you don't have a presence online today in some medium, you're just really non-existent. So really
That's
excited
right.
to have our very special guest, Mr. Kris Reid, with us today, and a little bit about Kris. Kris, uh, like most entrepreneurs struggle to get more. We're going to go back and edit. So a little bit more about Kris. Kris developed a simple system to get your message in front of your ideal audience to predictably grow your business. When the 2008 global financial crisis hit, Kris, then a software engineer from Brisbane, Australia, say that right?
Not quite right, but it'll do.
Decided to build an online computer game. Like many online businesses, he struggled to get visitors to his website to play the game. Kris put his analytical mind to work and developed a simple system to get people to his website to play the game, and he did by learning the rules of SEO. Kris further developed his simple system to get businesses predictable profits by directing traffic to their websites. This was the birth of Ardor SEO. He now works with diverse companies and brands all over the world to help them get customers and make the profits that they've always envisioned. Indeed, his own passion for entrepreneurship, small business, veganism, and helping sustainable, ethical businesses directs his vision for Ardor and the company's impact on the world. So, Kris, welcome to the show.
Cody, it's a pleasure to come to you from Saigon in Vietnam, where it's always hot and sunny.
Well, again, we know a little bit about that down here in Houston, Texas. That's for sure. It's November, and we're still somewhat in shorts and short sleeves, so we can relate to that. But man, honored to have you on the show again with very, very important topic here, and really excited to dive into this. But tell us a little bit more about your story and your background.
Yeah, sure. So I try not to talk too much about SEO because it's boring and geeky. I try and talk about getting more customers because that's what businesses need. Most businesses fail for that very reason, that they can't get enough customers. And like when you got more customers coming in and leaving, you can screw up everything else in business and you're going to live to fight another day. And that takes all of the stress away. But yeah, I'm originally from Brisbane, Australia. And so I got this funny little accent. But I studied software engineering at university. And there's two ways to make money as a software engineer. You either go to Silicon Valley and work for a tech startup, or you go to finance. And I took the finance route. So I moved to London, worked for some big banks, which is pretty soul destroying, but they pay you enough money that you forget about it. And that was pretty great until the global financial crisis came around and took my job with pretty much everyone else I knew. And I went back to Australia with my tail between my legs, and what the hell am I going to do with my life? So being a computer geek, I built an online game just for some fun, not because I wanted to do anything about business. I had no idea about business. And I built this online game, and I was like, well, how the hell do you get people to a website? I started dabbling with a bit of SEO. I learned about what backlinks are, built a bunch of backlinks to my website. It shot up in the rankings. I got a bucket load of traffic, and I went, holy cow, I'm sitting on a gold mine. I ditched the game, built a system to take orders for backlinks, and been doing it ever since.
That's so cool, man. I love that. So you started out in the financial world to get away from IT, and then you somehow end up being in the digital world, and look at you now, man. This is awesome. So
for sure, and like having a software background, like it's great because SEO, well, that's exactly what you're talking to, is a computer algorithm, and algorithms are looking for certain things, and if you feed Google the right things, then it loves you and it gives you all the traffic and all the customers you could ever want.
Well, and that is a perfect point that we want to segue off into really today's conversation. And for the listeners that may be tuning in and wondering, why in the world are we talking about SEO and digital marketing, things like that, as real estate entrepreneurs? Again, in our space, it's all about relationships and networking, right? And so the more that you can expand your network and outreach, the better chances of finding partners and things like that to further your business. And obviously we find ourselves in the time of COVID now where pretty much everything's virtual. So you have to have some type of online presence. So such a perfect timing for this topic. So really, really glad to dive in. But, let's kind of start with the basics here. I don't want to assume any of our listeners kind of automatically know what SEO is. Tell us, let's break it down to the basic level first. What exactly is SEO and why is that important on the digital front?
Yeah, sure. So SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it's basically making sure your website is optimized for Google. So Google likes you. Like where does anyone go and search for any products or service these days? Google, right? And so it's really important that that's where you're found. Most web designers totally suck and rip people off because they build websites that don't generate any business. And most websites don't generate any business because people don't even know why they really need a website. They go, yeah, I need a website, like I need a business card. Well, the business card doesn't work if it's sitting in your desk drawer. You got to get out there and hand it around. And the same with the website. It doesn't work if people can't find you. Like there is big websites that really don't generate any business. In fact, I was looking at a big real estate website last night, cw.com, and all that it ranks for is its brand name. It doesn't generate any traffic from organic people searching that are not its brand name. Like that's what most people have like in their title tags and their description is their brand names. And it's like, if someone is searching for like Blue Oak Capital, well, they damn well better find you, if your website's indexed. They already know who you are and they're looking for you. You want someone that's looking for like real estate investment, like those people that don't know who you are, how they get to your website. And that's what SEO is.
Awesome. And I guess that's really where our focus is right now, right? When we talk about this search engine optimization is, as we're building our outreach and as we're building our brand, our goal is to be able to attract people to us, right? It's so much easier when the leads are coming to you versus you chasing the leads, right? So this is such an important aspect, but it's really difficult. I mean, it's for many people, it's like speaking a whole other language. And I'll be the first to tell you, I love technology. It's not my strongest suit. I'm thankful to have people like Brian and John to help me out in that department. But again, if you don't understand the power of it and why you need it, you're really missing out on a lot of opportunity to really grow. So, so where do we start putting the pieces together for SEO and kind of optimizing our websites, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, you're really right there, Cody. It's that people don't understand it. If they did, they'd already be doing it. Like, as I told you before, like my calendar is booked through to Christmas. Like I really struggle to fit anyone else in on my calendar because we do our own marketing and it really works. Like people pay to talk to me. It's awesome. When people are paying to talk to me, like they're ready to become a customer, because we weed them out through our website. It gets the right people to our website. Then we have a sales funnel that filters through them so that I'm only speaking to people that have proactively sought us out and have even paid and booked a time to speak with me. Like that's your perfect customer. You imagine you're looking for passive investors, like one keyword that, is really simple is how to invest $50,000. If you're looking for investors, you can be sure that someone that's Googling how to invest $50,000 has $50,000 and wants some help. So you get your message in front of those people and show them that you can, turn that $50,000 into whatever in a nice, secure, safe investment. Then they're ready to become a customer really, really fast. And that's the power of having a great website.
That's a great point too, because we talk about this a lot where it's quality over quantity, right? You want a good funnel of leads coming in, but you also want to focus on the quality. I mean, you don't want to be spinning your wheels and burning a lot of time on people that, I hate to say that you're not going to do business with, but people that are really, we quote unquote tire kickers is as we label them, right? Like just, they're looking for, a couple minutes of your free time and then they're moving on, but they're really not going to be any of value to you. So
yeah, they might not have the money. And so what's the point of talking to someone that's got $100 to invest? It's like, get out of here. You're not worth my time. And so like, that's really important to get the search intent right for your keywords, right? So like the shorter the tail, the keyword, the more search volume it's going to have, but also the less specific it is. Like a good example of that is say smartphone. Like smartphone has massive amounts of search volume, but what the hell is someone looking for when they type smartphone? Who knows? Well, like if someone's searching, how to buy a secondhand iPhone on the south side of Chicago, like that keyword's going to have very little search volume. But you can be sure if you sell a secondhand iPhone on the south side of Chicago, that's your customer. So it's going to convert really well. And the more specific that you can be, the easier those keywords are to rank for, and the better they're going to convert as well.
It's a great point, Kris. And I know a lot of people in real estate often use PPC, which is, pay per click. And I'm a big fan of SEO in the sense that I sort of look at it as an employee going to work for you every day, right? You're creating that website that ranks on the top of Google that you don't have to be paying per click. What's your experience been dealing with clients who are maybe transitioning over from a PPC model of finding clients, finding passive investors, finding off-market deals, and transitioning more of a mindset to letting their website go to work for them and the SEO aspect?
Yeah, so we work with a lot of realtors, and some that are spending like 10 grand a month with Zillow buying leads, and like 10 grand a month.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
And you're investing in Zillow and making Zillow bigger and more powerful. And Zillow doesn't love you. They will sell those leads to whoever wants to give them the most money. And that's the same with Google, right? Like Google AdWords clearly works, or Google would not be worth any money. Like Alphabet, the parent company of Google, something like 97% of their revenue comes from Google Ads. Like it's almost everything. Like it clearly works. But people, only about 2 to 6% of the people click on ads. So most people just skim right over them. So even at the low end, 94% of the traffic's going to the organic. So you're missing out on a big piece of that pie. But with AdWords, like as soon as you stop spending, you stop getting. And someone with bigger pockets can come around and take all your traffic away. So your business is vulnerable. With SEO, it's compounding, and that's where the real strength lies. The money that you spent last month, well, you get a return on it this month, the next year. If you just stop doing all your SEO, it's not going to go away. You've built a ring of defense around your business. And like it's that compounding that makes it powerful. And it's that security that gives you stability.
Love that. So let's kind of start translating this into us as real estate investors. Again, we're out there building a brand, building a presence in the digital space. Where do we start in creating an investor lead funnel for potential partners or potential passive investors?
Yeah, so all SEO needs to start with keyword research. You need to understand who your potential customers are and what they're searching for in what volume. And that determines everything. This is where web designers suck and where they don't get it right. And, because from your keyword research, you work out how your site structure should be. Like, what are your main category pages? What are your subcategory pages? What are your money pages, as we call them? And then, what are your blog topics? So if you think about Amazon, it's amazon.com/movies/music/fashion. Then under fashion, you have men's and women's, and then the subsections. And, that's the same as how any website should be. Their main category pages and then their main subcategory pages. And then you have to build what's called supporting content to boost up those pages. And that's what goes on your blog. Like a good example of that is one of our customers is a big time hotel chain. And so they're up against, some of the biggest websites on the planet, booking.com, Agoda spends over $1 billion on marketing. You're going up against a company that's spending $1 billion on marketing. It's pretty tough. And so we did a content plan for them. Like one of their locations is Sydney, Australia. And, you can't just keep writing content, Hotel Sydney. It doesn't work like that. You get what's called keyword cannibalization. But we did a content plan for them around, best beaches in Sydney, best parks in Sydney, best walks in Sydney, because that's what someone that's going on a holiday to Sydney is going to be searching for. So those pages rank in their own right. And then you have a strong call to action to send people over to your money page, your booking page. But the main purpose is it builds up your overall relevancy around hotels in Sydney. So your main money page goes up. So like things that we do with realtors, you can't just, keep writing content, real estate, LA, it doesn't work like that. But like, one of our customers that's in Naples in Florida, which has got the most billionaires in the US, I believe, and it's older people that are retiring there that have lots of money. So, we do articles about, best golf clubs, best things to do, like why retire to Naples, because that's what people are searching for, and then it builds up your relevancy around real estate in Naples, but it also drives people in about what's the best golf courses in Naples. You bring them in that way and they go, hey, you got lots of money, you want to buy a house? Come over here. Yeah.
So let me see if I can just kind of recap that. So we start off with the keyword research, right? We understand who our audience is. We have our categories, and then our subcategories or our supporting content within those categories, call to actions, and I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
So that's the basis of how to build a sitemap and the content. Then when you get people to a website, you better have something interesting. Like having a call to action of give me a call is usually too big, or even to buy something. Like a good example is e-commerce websites, right? Amazon converts way better than every other e-commerce website because everyone knows and trusts Amazon. You know that if you buy something from Amazon, you're going to get it, or they've got good customer service. They'll look after you. Any small e-commerce site, you don't know who they are. You give them your money. Are you going to get anything? Like maybe it's crap. Maybe they'll just take your money. Who knows? And so like asking someone to buy your widget is just too aggressive generally. Where if you can give someone a lead magnet, hey, here's the, like with investing, like say you have someone come to your page about the best way to invest $50,000. You can have a lead magnet, which someone puts in their name and email, and it could be something like the 5 biggest mistakes people make when investing $50,000. Or the 5 best reasons to move to Naples, or whatever, something that's really relevant to you. It's got to be good content. If it's crap, then people aren't going to trust you. But if you have a really nice lead magnet that's very relevant to what that person just searched for, then they'll give you a name and email. They'll download your guide and they'll go, wow, this is really spectacular. And that's when you can start nurturing them. You go, hey, listen to me on this podcast, or watch me on this YouTube video, or read more about the top articles that I wrote. And now they start go, wow, this guy's a real expert. He knows what he's talking about. And then you go, hey, buy my widget, or book in a call, and let's have a chat.
Nice. I got it. Going back to the keyword search, which is, kind of a consistent theme in here, like it's very powerful, right? Is that generating those desired keywords. That seems a lot harder to create or produce than what it sounds like, right? I mean, because, it can't be just as generic. I mean, granted, you gave some great examples here, and obviously somebody with a lot of experience, you could probably spit those out because it's very targeted. But, for somebody like maybe us who maybe just new to this and trying to figure out what's the best way, how do we figure out a way to generate these specific keywords?
Yeah, I mean, if it was easy, then everyone would be doing it, and then it wouldn't be valuable again. So like, it is hard. That's why you need to be an expert in every craft. What's his name? The guy that wrote the Wealth of Nations in like the 15th century. He's like, the wealth of nations comes from the division of labor. They learned that a long time ago. So you should become a specialist. But there is a really great tool called Ahrefs. Ahrefs is a HTML tag, so it's a bit of geek humor, their name. It's actually the tag where you click on a link to go to another website. That's an Ahrefs tag. And that's where they get their name. But it's a really great SEO tool. It's pretty expensive, but they have a trial. I think it's $7 for 7 days or something like that. And if you go there and put in your competitors, you can see everything they're ranking for. So if if you're looking for real estate in whatever city, you can just Google that, find who the top people are, put them into Ahrefs, and see who's doing well. If you're in some little city, what you can do is search for a competitive area. So look for New York City or LA or something that's really valuable, and look at who's ranking the best in there, because you can assume that they're doing pretty good because it's a very competitive niche or area. And then put their website in and just change LA to your city, and you pretty much got all your keywords done for you. Like that's a kind of easy way to do it. It's not going to be real accurate, but it'll give you a head start.
Yeah. overall theme out of that is hire somebody like you.
Yeah.
To be honest, right? Like, when I started my business, I had no idea about business. I screwed up so much stuff. Like, I had one of our HR steal like $40,000 because we didn't have any like procedures in place. Like I didn't know at all what I was doing. And I wish I had have read a lot more books. Like I read books like crazy now, and it's really valuable. And two books that I highly recommend any entrepreneur read. They're both by Mike Michalowicz, who's a fabulous author. One's called Profit First, about how to have a profitable business and always keeping that in mind. And like I tell that to all of our staff, if we're working on a job and it's not profitable, why the hell do it? Like just stop it and go to the pub. It's way more fun and it won't cost you any money. And getting that mindset into team members is really important. We need to be profitable. If we're not making money, then why be doing any work? And so that really changed my mindset, mind a lot. And his other book is called Clockwork, which is about how to build a business that doesn't revolve around you. And I tell you, I'm not perfect with that, but certainly getting there. Like I took 4 days off last week, went hiking with my missus, and it was fabulous. I came back and my inbox wasn't overflowing. My calendar's full, but it's like work's not stressful. The team get all the work done. And one thing in Clockwork that it talks about, it's like, what's your queen bee role? What's your company do? And our company is SEO. Our SEO analysts have to be doing SEO. If they're not doing billable hours for our customers, we're not making money. If they're on a team call or some internal meeting or whatever, they're not making the company money. And that's, we try and minimize that as much as possible. So we track how many billable hours each person has, and that's our key metric. And so that's what every business should be doing, is whatever you make money, focus on that. Like we have a Profit First professional. I highly recommend using one as well, who's runs our accounts. We could have an internal accountant, but they're not going to be as good as she is. She doesn't, cost the earth. She does, has procedures in place and a team to know accounting way better than we can do it. Like, why the hell would you hire an accountant internal, when you can hire an agency that's going to do a way better job? And it's the same thing with SEO, right? Even if you have the budget to hire one person full-time to run your SEO, they're not as good as our team. We've got different people that do different things. We had team lunch yesterday, and it's a whole bunch of nerds sitting around talking shop. If you got one guy that has no nerds to talk to, how's he going to learn and keep up? So it's like, stick to doing what you do and hire an agency.
Kriss, I think that's a great point. As real estate investors, especially on the active side, there are so many hats that we wear, looking at deals, analyzing deals, talking to brokers, talking to vendors, talking to passive investors and other active investors, that sometimes we can get caught up in thinking we call it the IMA syndrome, that I'm going to do everything. I'm going to go learn how to do SEO. I'm going to go learn how to generate ads. When in reality, the point you're trying to hammer home, that I know Cody and I can both agree with, is it's worth every penny of your money to go out there and hire an expert that has a proven track record, that has already produced the results that you're looking to do. And you're going to get a 10x on your money versus trying to go out there and learn it on your own. So I'm with you on that point, and I think that's really important for all of our listeners to keep in mind when they're getting started. Is it's money well worth spent. Go out there and invest in your network.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, when I invest money, I don't go and do my own deals, right? I look for someone with experience and knows how to look after my money.
That's right. So Kriss, one question that I get often as I talk to similar people in this space is, well, what are your leads worth to you, or how do you monetize that? Let's talk a little bit about that, because I know that's a big factor into.
So like a big question that I get all the time is, how much is SEO? And the truth is, you can spend any amount you want. The internet is massive. It's way bigger than you can possibly imagine. Our brains just aren't equipped to understand those sort of numbers. And so a question I ask customers is like, well, how many more customers do you want? And they'll generally say more. They have no freaking idea, because, like me, when I started my business, I didn't know what I was doing. And like, I talk to even pretty sophisticated realtors, and they don't know what their conversion rates are. They don't know how many leads they actually have coming in. And I'm like, man, like it drives me crazy. How do you have such a successful business and you're not measuring this stuff? Like you need to have a CRM, man. You need to have a CRM. You need to be measuring how many calls are you making? How many people do you need to speak to before you close a deal? What is a deal worth to you? Like my wife just opened a new restaurant. And so, I'm trying to help her measure what is a value of a customer. Because it's a local restaurant, and it's like all of the people that go there are people that live in the neighborhood. So they're not tourists. The lifetime value of them is very high. So even if a meal is $10 and, $5 of that's profit, like you can spend $20 to bring that customer in because they're going to come back again and again and again. Like, so, ideally you want to make money on the first hit. That's better business. But if you know what the lifetime value of your customer is, then you can spend a hell of a lot more to get it. Dan Kennedy, one of the world's greatest marketers, he said the company that can spend the most to acquire its customers is going to win in the end. And it's so true. But you need to measure this stuff. And you need to think, what success look like to you? Because that's how we design a strategy, right? Is like, you're getting how many customers now, and where do you want to be in 12 months? And the better you can paint that picture, the better we can design a strategy for you. So if you come to us and say, we want more customers, we're like, okay, that's a little bit, because if you want 10 clients a month, or 100 clients a month, or 1,000 clients a month, it's a different amount of work and it's a different amount of investment. So that's really where, investors need to think about, how many people do I need to speak to? If I'm trying to raise $5 million, how many investors do I need? And then so I need 10 investors. How many leads do I need to generate those investors? Okay, 20. So I need this many per day. And if you can work back from that, well, then we can build the perfect strategy to get your calendar booked to that level.
Yeah. I really appreciate you clarifying that. And I was kind of chuckling as you mentioned it, because I'm actually that guy who would answer that question that way. Like, I don't know. I mean, how do you monetize, leads as your passive investor leads, for example? Like how, it's interesting because we measure KPIs on our real estate business, right? Like we know what metrics we're tracking as far as deal flow and broker relationships and things like that. But, it's kind of interesting. You flip the coin and you talk about, lead generation and things like that. And it's just like, I don't know.
Most people never thought about it, right? And so if you work with an expert and they can tell you what your cost per acquisition per customer is, well, then you can scale that to the moon, right? If a customer is worth $5 and you're getting them for $1, then just turn it up to infinity. That's the beauty of digital marketing. And the beauty of digital marketing is that it's a science. Like if you just don't cheat the system and just give Google what it's looking for, and that's never going to change. Google's looking for a great user experience, a website that loads fast, that's safe and secure, has really good content, and it's trusted. You're a trusted authority. You keep building that up and Google's just going to keep loving you forever. And, you can just scale your business to infinity. And as I was saying, I've screwed up plenty of stuff in business. When you've got unlimited customers coming in, it takes away all the stress. Working hard is not stressful. Running out of money and not being able to make payroll, that is stressful. I've been there. It sucks. You're waking up in the middle of the night going, geez, if I close that deal and that deal, I'll be able to pay that bill. It's man, who wants that? Well, if you have predictability, a fabulous book that I read, 80-20 Sales and Marketing by Matthew Perry, I think. He has a chapter in that about guarantees. And he's the power of guarantees. Every deal, someone is taking the risk. And if you can take that risk for your customers and offer a guarantee, man, you'll sell like crazy. And we did that. We went, sure, let's do it. We know what we're doing. And man, adding guarantees, holy crap, our strategies sell like crazy because people go, cool, I give you money, I'm guaranteed to get results. And we know that you do this, you follow the strategy, you get results every time. It's very simple. All you need to do is do the keyword research, work out what your customers are searching for, structure your website as I was talking about, write really good content. And one thing that we haven't spoken about is adding backlinks. You need to be an authority because Google, doesn't trust everyone, right? Because anyone can write any crap they want on the internet. And, how does Google know if it's true or not? So they do it by what's called backlinks. So when Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, when he was at university, there was all these other search engines, which were crap, Alta Vista, Yahoo, Excite, you'll remember those. And they had really terrible results. And he figured, well, if you write a thesis and other people reference your thesis, well, your thesis must be really good, right? And so it must be the same with websites. If you've got a website and everyone's referencing your website, linking to it, it must be really good. And so he made what's called the PageRank algorithm. And that's still the fundamentals of how Google works. In fact, I'll just read you the title of an article by Ahrefs, that tool that I was mentioning before. And the title is 90.63% of content. 90.63% of content gets no traffic from Google. Like, that's almost everything. It breaks it down even further. They analyzed 2 billion pieces of content, 2 billion pieces of content, and they found only 0.21%, 0.21% of content gets over 1,000 visitors a month. So almost no content gets any traffic whatsoever. So you can pump out content all day long and Google does not give a crap. And the article is very long, and if you're a geek, it's worth a read. But the synopsis is basically, if you don't have backlinks, then Google's not going to rank you. Because if no one else cares about it, why is Google going to care about it? So backlinks are essential at ranking your website.
Nice.
Kris, I have a question. How does SEO and backlinks and all these finer nuances of how it works, how does it, especially in the last 10 years, how have you seen it tie into social media? Because as real estate investors and entrepreneurs, we're always looking to promote ourselves and our brand and things like that. How can social media, is it something that like throws a little bit of gasoline on the fire? Does it help, or how does it help?
Social media has absolutely no impact on SEO at all. It doesn't matter at all. And social media, I mean, it does work, or Facebook and Twitter would be worth nothing, but they're not worth nearly as much as Google, right? And that's because where are people going to buy things? So Seth Godin, one of the greatest marketers, he coined the phrase interrupt marketing. And so like Facebook is always playing with their algorithm to screw everyone over and make sure people are paying for it. Like, you need to pay for ads to get traffic on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. And that's how they make their money. And you're interrupting people, right? They want to be doing anything else. They want to be watching a cat video. They want to be talking to their friends. They don't want to be seeing your ad. And even ads, a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting at a cafe on the weekend playing with my phone, and I saw this ad on Facebook for copywriting. I was like, wow, that's really cool. I love copywriting. Clicked on it, and it was a really cool thing. And I was like, yeah, I'd buy that. But I wasn't in the position. I didn't have my credit card with me. I was just out walking my dogs. And so I couldn't even buy it. So that guy paid for the click. He paid for me to click it and view his thing, and I couldn't even become a customer. So like, yeah, that sucks. Where Google, someone's actively searching for it. If I'm sitting at my computer typing in copywriting course or whatever, then you know that I'm in a position to buy it, because you're not going to be searching for something that if you're not able to buy it. Like, no one's searching for how to invest $50,000 when they're like walking their dog, right? They're sitting there because they want to invest $50,000. So social media, it does work, but like, you got to think about where your customers are. Are people really going to Facebook to invest 50 grand? Like, I don't think so.
That's a great point. And I think you're absolutely correct in that, social media is a great platform to kind of connect and expand your network in a way, like, of interacting with people that you normally wouldn't come across in your backyard per se. Right. But like you mentioned earlier, which I love, is, again, going back to the concept of creating a funnel of people that are attracted to you and your, website and our case and our brand, and I think that's the goal as we build this brand and as we build this is, again, how do we generate just a continuous stream of investor leads coming into the funnel to where you're not having to go out and chase them. Right.
So Cody, two other things on that. Like, with social media, you can kind of build people in your own group, like you'd have a Facebook group and things like that. But it's really easy for them to get distracted, right? Because there's Messenger there and there's ads that pop up. They can easily just disappear. Where like, if you've got someone to your website, they download your lead magnet, now they're in your email marketing list. Like, man, that is so valuable. You can nurture those people. Like, I sent out an email to our list the other day. I said, I bet I send this email and I'll make money. They say the money's in the list and this email is going to make me money. And it did, because I send those emails to people and they go, yeah, email marketing does work. I'll buy your stuff. So one of our customers who's a really big time painter, like he's got franchises in 7 or 8 states in the US, like massive. He told me that most painters in the US are doing about 200K and really struggling. The ones that are smart enough to have email marketing set up are doing over 2 million. It's like, man, even if it costs you 30 grand to set up, which it does not, it's like 10x your business. What sort of return are you getting on that? Like, man, it's so, so valuable. The money is in the list. And if you want investors, get them on your list.
Well, and that goes back to our topic where we're talking about like where you monetize your leads, right? I mean, if you think about the investment it would take to set up your SEO, set up your website, talk about all the things, your sitemap, everything that we've discussed, right? If you just generate one $50,000 investor, $100,000 investor, whatever the case may be, that's an infinite return on your initial investment, right? Because that's the goal, is to get that in. So you got to have to switch the mindset of not focusing so much on the cost versus what's the long-term result.
Yeah. And not all of your leads that come in are going to be ready right now. Like, for instance, one of our customers from this week, I first spoke to him in February. The poor guy's got prostate cancer, and he's been battling most of this year. During this terrible year, he's had something else terrible happen. But he got one of our emails through our email marketing and went, yeah, I need, now that he's unable to move, he's in terrible shape. He needs a website to run his business. He's got guys, he does plumbing. He's got guys that are out, doing all the work, but he needs leads coming in. He can't do the sales anymore. He needs a website that can keep those guys busy and pay for his, health. So it's a really great time for him he should have done it 6 months ago, but now's better than never. Yeah.
Yeah. Better late than never. So, I had a question.
Kriss, do you have a case study or an example maybe you can share from one of your clients on the type of impact you've seen on SEO? I'm sure you've got some great stories. Would you mind sharing one of those with our audience?
I have one absolute rock star that springs to mind, Avery Carl. She's one of our realtors, and man, she's like super cool to work with. And she just got listed in the top 1,000 realtors in the US, number 83, I believe. And next year she's going to smash that up. She is so good. And she's a young woman that's really motivated and just wants to take over the world. And she's really doing it. She's such a pleasure to work with. So how we work is we design a strategy for people, right? We go, okay, how many leads do you want? And she said, I want a bucket load. And so we built her a very big strategy to generate a real lot of leads. And then we deliver the strategy to people and go, this is what it's going to take to do that. And man, she asked every question under the sun. I don't think I've had a longer strategy delivery. She wanted to understand every bit of it. And then once she understood it, she's like, that's cool. You get on and do it. And I rarely ever speak to her. She had a baby recently. I sent her a message to congratulate her. That's like it. Like, she's just like, you do your stuff, we'll do our stuff. And she's like growing like nothing else. She's even just had a baby like 2 months ago, and she's still growing like crazy because she's got a really great team that close all the deals. She's now got a website that generates her a bucket load of deals. She's not investing in Zillow. She's investing in herself. She's a fabulous case study.
That's awesome. That's great. Love that story. So, Kriss, one of the things that I was kind of thinking about as we've been going through this, you mentioned a lot about, the backlinks, guarantees, being attractive. One of the things I think that as commercial real estate investors, we're very sensitive to is making sure that we're being adherent and compliant with some of the laws out there that regulate how we promote our business, how we're attracting investors and things like that. And this kind of goes back to your point of having somebody like yourself who is experienced in this space to be sensitive to that and still be able to create a system or, keywords or whatever the case may be to help drive the right traffic to you, but still being compliant, if I'm making sense here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are some little nuances of what you can say and what you can't say. And so it is important to get that right. You don't want to get on the wrong side of the law. But it is always tricky. Like, yeah, just talking about email marketing, I looked at my inbox this morning because we sent out an email yesterday, which was that we closed $120,000 worth of deals last week, which, it's not a bad week. And someone replied back, it's like, it's a little bit misleading because you can generate all the leads you want, but if you don't know how to hustle, then you're not going to close those deals. I'm like, man, we can't run your business for you. We can generate the leads. Like, you're still going to have to close those deals. Like, come on, man, like, give me a break. What more do you want? So yeah, like, but getting the right people on the list. This guy's probably not the right one because he's like, a bit cocky.
Well, let's kind of segue then. Let's kind of talk about that. Let's talk about getting you engaged, getting your team engaged. How do we work? Let's talk about that initial strategy call, and then how do we get from strategy call to delivery of product or whatever?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, our website is Ardor SEO. So Ardor means to do something with fiery passion. And that's how we do SEO, Ardor SEO. And so if you go to ardorseo.com/blueoak, you'll see a nice little video of me. And if you put in your details, I'll personally make a video review for you. I'll show you exactly how many people are in your market searching for your products and services. How many investors are in your regional market, or how many people are looking to sell houses or buy houses, whatever the heck you do. And I'll show you some simple things you can change yourself on your website to get it in front of where these people are looking and predictably grow your business. Plus, if people leave you a review, I'll throw in an extra bonus for them. So that's ardorseo.com/blueoak.
Love it, man. Appreciate that. And so what is the term of service? What does the contract, I guess, look with you guys? How, is it a term period on there? I mean, tell us a little bit more about that.
So how we work is, first off, you come and get a video review, and then we'll have a talk, and I'll explain to you how a strategy works. And so a strategy is really, like, we call it a market visibility blueprint, and it works in 3 parts. The first part is keyword research. We need to understand what your market is searching for. Then some competition analysis. Who are your competitors? What are like, how tough are they compared to you? Like, if they're really massive and you're not, then it's, we're got to look at what is obtainable, because we make money by having long-term partners, right? And so we want to get you making money as quickly as possible, because we know it doesn't matter how much we charge, as long as your website's paying for it, then everyone's happy. So we want to get you to that position as quickly as possible. And then we need to do a website audit to see what's wrong with your website and why is it not ranking currently. Some things might be really mission critical and need to be fixed immediately. Some things can wait until later. And then we need to design a strategy. And the strategy is everything: how to structure your website, how to write the content, what content to write, how to generate backlinks, how to do email marketing, how to do lead magnets, everything. So how to get the right people to your website and how to get them to take action and become customers. And all of that is a set fee, the market visibility blueprint. And that gives us the definition of what we need to do to implement that strategy. And so we're really, really precise at this. So if you currently have 10 customers a month and you want 100, then we'll work out exactly what you need to do to get that. How we improve your conversion rate, how we improve your traffic, how we're going to get you to 100 customers a month. We'll outline it exactly in the strategy, and we guarantee our work. We go, okay, this is what we'll do over the next 12 months, and we'll guarantee that we'll get you there.
So I want to touch base on that, because that was going to be my next question for you. Talk to me about the guarantee. So you're guaranteeing that we're going to get this, but what does that look like? Okay, so
like Avery, for example, she wanted 75 leads a month, which is quite a lot of leads, right? And so we know what her conversion rate through her website is. And so we know how much traffic we need. And we want to focus not just on high search volume traffic. We want to focus on traffic that converts to customers. And so we don't always just go on traffic, but her guarantee is that we'll get her 5,000 visitors a month so that we can get those 75 leads. And so that gets her to where she wants to be. And we do that over a 12-month period.
Gotcha. I love it. Well, man, Kris, phenomenal conversation, man. I love your energy. Like you said, this can be a no disrespect to anybody, but it can kind of be a bland topic, especially when it's so foreign to most of everybody. but just love your passion, love the energy that you bring. Been a great conversation. I know I learned a ton through this. Brian, you got any other questions for Kris?
No, I think this is great. Very eye-opening, something for all of our listeners, whether you're investing actively or passively, to just consider when you're out there doing business. We spend a lot of effort and time creating content and promoting our brand on social media and through word of mouth. But why not build a great website, hire a professional to do it like you, and to get an SEO and let the website work while you're sleeping every day, right?
Hell yeah. I love waking up every morning to see what new clients we got coming in.
There you go. Love it.
That's awesome, man. Well, Kris, man, really appreciate you spending time with us today and really kind of helping us to understand SEO and digital marketing and whatnot. One more time, man, tell listeners how they can get connected with you and our door, excuse me.
Yeah, so you can go to the Google and you can type in the coolest guy in SEO and you'll see my face all over there. Or you can just go to ardourseo.com/blueoak.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, Kris, thank you again, man. Look forward to staying connected and really kind of learning more about this from you and kind of interested to kind of get engaged here. What you think, Brian? And we should definitely dig into this a little further.
I think we definitely need to take this offline for sure.
Awesome, gentlemen. Talk soon.
Thanks, Kris.